are told that there are two parms here, that is A, B, C, D, and A, B, or E. So my suggestion, first I highlight the two parms that you are given. So we've got that. So this is the first palm. Then we have got A, B, or E. Okay? So A, B, or E is that. That's also a palm. Which means all the properties of a palm, we can use them for those two parts. Alright? So when you're writing a geometry test, I would encourage you to bring highlighters because you might need to identify triangles, you might need to identify quadrilaterals so that it can help you in answering the question. Okay? Then we need to prove that E, A, or D. Okay? Let me use a different color for that. I think that color will be better. So E, A, or D. So it will be this one here. So we need to prove that that part there is a palm. Okay? The one in light brown. Okay. Now, the question would be, how can we use the information that's there? Alright? We are given two palms. We need to prove that EA or D is a palm. The first thing you have to look at the diagram and decide which property of the palm you want to use. Okay? Which property of the palm you want to use. So, in terms of the properties of the palms, here, obviously, EA is going to be equal to OB. Okay? EA is going to be equal to OB. Right? Do you see that? Huh? EA is going to be equal to OB. At the same time, since A, B, C, D is a palm, the diagonals bisect. Therefore, A or is going to be equal to OE. Alright? But now the challenge is this side here, DE, to connect it to AO. We cannot just rush and say opposite sides are equal. You can't. Okay? So, based on it as well, let me just add some lines that are parallel because it's important. So these two sides are parallel. Also, these two are parallel. Then, if I use green, it means those two sides are parallel. Let me put 3 lines there. They are parallel. Okay, I'll put 3 there. Just indicating the green that those opposite sides are parallel. Right? Because that's a palm. Furthermore, we also have these two sides being parallel. Okay? And please be aware that this whole line is DB. Okay? It's going to be parallel to EA. Do you see that? Huh? DB is parallel to EA. Therefore, my suggestion here, it will be to just prove based on one pair of opposite sides being equal and parallel. Okay? So I'll start by proving that OD is equal to OB. Okay? OD is equal to OB. So let me start by saying that I made a decision as to which property of a palm I want to use to prove that EAOD is a palm. The property that I'm going to use is the fact, or rather, I'm going to use the fact that a pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel. That's all. So, I'll start by saying OD is equal to OB. My reason for this is that of the palm. Okay? You don't have to write bisect each other and all that. You don't have to. Okay? Remember, your teacher gave you, or I also gave you, a copy of the acceptable reasons. So you can write diagrams of a palm. Alright? Then we also say OD is equal to, now, okay, what I write is this is supposed to be OB. Okay? Do you agree with me that OB is equal to AE? Do you agree with me there? And our reason we can give it in terms of opposite sides of the what? The palm. So opposite sides of the palm. You see that? Huh? So OD is equal to OB. The reason, diagonals of the palm. Remember, the diagonals of the palm bisect. That's why OD is equal to OB. Then OB is equal to AE because they belong to the same palm, the one which I highlighted in green. Okay? We're told that it's a palm. Therefore, its opposite sides are what? Are equal. That's why I wrote here opposite sides of the palm. Are you following that? Then we can now come to a conclusion and say, do you see that we have, do you see that we have got OB here? We also have OB there. What that means is, we can conclude that therefore OD is equal to AE. Hey, can you pay attention? Pay attention. Because of these two statements, we can end up concluding that therefore OD is equal to AE. Does that make sense? Right? Then, so we've got a pair of opposite sides now. Remember, what is my objective here? Is to prove that AE is equal to OD. And also, AE is parallel to OD. Okay? Then the next thing now is for me to say, now, since here AE is parallel to BE, okay? So I can say AE is parallel to OB, okay? Now, this is based on opposite sides of the palm. Okay? AE is parallel to OB. That's based on opposite sides of the palm. But OB is part of DB. Therefore, I can say, therefore, AE is parallel to OD. Okay, if you want, you can say, but DB is equal to GO plus 4B. Okay? DB is equal to GO plus 4B. Which means it's the same what? Straight line. So what that means is that AE will be parallel to OD. Or you can say AE is parallel to DB. It's the same thing. So I can now say, therefore, since I got the pair being equal here, they are parallel there. It means I can say, therefore, EA OD is a palm. Right? My reason will be pair of opposite sides, pair of opposite sides equal and parallel. Right? By the way, you haven't done grade 10 analytical geometry, right? You need to know that if, if two or more points are on the same straight line, we call them collinear points, which means the gradient is the same along that straight line. So point B, point O, and point G are collinear. What that means is the gradient of OB is the same as OD, it's also equal to DB. That's why AE is to be parallel to both. Yes?
So the same goes for A or C.
A what?
A or C.
Yes, it's the same as well. The gradient for AO is the same as OC, is the same as AC. Because they're all, those 3 points are along the same straight line. Okay? But later, when we do analytical geometry, I think term 2, that's when maybe you can give that as a reason. Collinear points. What? Pair of opposite sides. It's pair. Okay, I'm sorry that my pen is not allowing me to write properly. So this way it's pair of opposite sides equal and parallel. We have got this pair here, they are equal. Also the pair there, they are parallel. Therefore, the quadrilateral is a what? Is a palm. Are you following the way that I'm doing? You've got an assignment, as I said. And definitely you get questions like this. And you have to know what to do and where to start. No, it's going to be written end of April. Okay, any questions? Any questions? All right. And then here, now a question like this one is the easiest that you can encounter, whereby you are given angles and all that. That's the easiest type of question, which you should be able to score all the marks. Okay, so here you are given that AQ is parallel to BP, AD is parallel to BC, QP to AC, and AD is equal to DC. Okay, that's given there. ADC is 112, QPA is 20. Determine the magnitude of A or D. So A or D, A or D is this angle. Let me highlight it nicely. Use a clear color there. So that's A or D. Okay, please be aware, there is no name of any part here. Okay, there is no name of any part. So we just have to prove, okay, and then we are also given QPA, this angle here, 20, and we are given that angle there, ADC. Okay, it's equal to 112. Okay, now if we want to take on here, to prove that, or rather to determine the size of angle A or D, we need to do a bit of some calculations. Okay? We need to do a bit of some calculations. Right? Now, do you agree with me that AD is parallel to BC? Do you agree with me there? Right? So what that means is this angle here is equal to 112. Okay? That angle there is equal to 112. Do you see that? Also, since this is 20, this angle there is going to be equal to 20 degrees. Right? The question is quite complex because we don't have any specific shape there. So we have to use our knowledge of geometry of straight lines to come up to the answer. Right? So that will be 20. Right? Then, since we have got a transversal here, and this is a parallel line, means this is also 20, which means that angle there will also be 20. Are you looking? Please look there, because you came all the way from your home so that you can pay attention. Right? So we have got that 20, that will be 20. Okay, just allow me to indicate this one with a second line. Don't worry, I'm going to write everything down properly. Right? Are you following what I did? First I said QP is parallel to AC. Therefore, this angle here is equal to that. They are alternate. Okay? And then again, we've got a transversal there, and AD is parallel to BC, therefore this angle is equal to that. So this will be 20. And then AB is equal to BC, therefore that will be 20 because they are angles opposite equal sides. Okay? What is the goal? The goal is to calculate this angle here. That's the goal. Now, do you agree with me that I can calculate this angle? In fact, you see this 20 here, because this is a transversal, that's a parallel line. It means that if I were to consider AD and BC, it means this whole angle here is going to be 20 degrees. You see that? But it can't be 20. This whole angle cannot be 20. That whole angle can be 20. Right? So we have got 20. To do what? Yeah. So this angle is 20, which is what I have. Then the other thing is what? My goal is to determine the size of this angle. If I can find this, then I can find that. Or if I can calculate this one here, then I can be able to determine this angle. Okay? So how can I carry on? Well, uh, let's see. Okay, I think I found the way to go. Let me calculate this angle. I can calculate using angles on a what? On a straight line. Because I know this is 20, that's 112. So let's write everything down. So first, I'm going to say angle QPA. This is what you are given. QPA, right? QPA